Hey, this is Joel from the Traveler Toolkit, and in today's video, I'm going to be telling you about this Litheli pole chainsaw. Extremely handy if you have lots of trees like I do that have limbs that you need to grab but don't want to get up on a ladder with a chainsaw yourself. This thing is highly extendable, comes with 3 different sections, and it's battery powered, so you don't need any mixing of gasoline and extra gas tanks sitting around. These batteries last quite a while, so let's start out by talking about the battery system. So I have reviewed quite a few tools from Litheli this summer, all of them on this U20 battery system here. And this one has an eject button that's a little hard to find. It's inside the handle right there. So if you press this button, it's a little awkward. Press this button, it flips the battery out. And I'll just give you a quick look at the battery itself. These U20 batteries are USB-C rechargeable. They're really compact. A lot of these tools come with 2 batteries for the tool, but this one only comes with 1. So 1 battery slot and 1 battery with the tool itself. I've still seen no real problem with the amount of battery life that it gives me. I like how long it lasts, and it seems to do a pretty good job. In fact, on this battery right here, I did probably about 3 or 4 hours of on and off trimming around my property without problem. Still had some battery life left at the end of the day. So that has been a real game changer to have all these things battery powered. And you'll see it's got a nice comfortable handle here. Nice comfortable handle with the Litheli black, white, and orange. You have a safety button right up top that you pull, and then you pull this trigger here to actuate things. There is a slot right here for a kind of a neck strap that they give you. I haven't used that yet, so it's not on there. And then this portion of the handle is foam. And before we get to the blade itself, let me just show you the connection points. So you get 3 poles in total. The pole with the chainsaw on it, an extension pole, and then the pole on the bottom that just has the battery and the handle on it. Right now, I just have the center extension excluded. But if you need extra length, you can add that 3rd extension in the middle, and this is what it looks like. Right here, you pull these apart. There are no wires. Let me show you what each side looks like. It looks like a socket in your house. See, you've got one side here, looks like a plug. That's the male part. And then here you have the female plug, and there are threads on this side. So you simply put these 2 together. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. You can't do this incorrectly. It only goes in one way. You just have to turn it until it clicks. Do you see that? They just kind of click together. And then there is a threaded portion that comes right here to the middle. And you want to make sure that's not bowed. You can thread this in here nice and strong. And there you go. It's a nice sturdy connection. And if you want to add to it, we have this extension pole. So you'll see right now, I'm 6 foot tall. This stands above my head, probably 2 feet. So this is probably 8 feet to the end of the blade, to the bottom of the reach. Plus you get what I believe is probably longer than a 3-foot extension. I would say this is probably closer to 4 feet of extension. So we're talking about like 12 feet of reach, 10 to 12 feet maximum on top of your arms, which if you're, 5 or 6 feet tall, you can reach your arms 4 or 5 feet up in the air here to about right there. So you're looking at quite a bit of reach, 16, 17 feet maybe at most for an average adult. And you can take this out if you don't need the extra length. Now, let's talk about the blade system and the cutting head here. So if we take off this protective cover, we'll see the blade here. It is an 8-inch blade that is all adjustable without tools. This is what I love about Litheli products. You don't need a lot of tools once you get them installed. So this key right here is both the key to remove the side guard and let the blade out, and it's also your blade tensioner. So I'll show you here the outer screw we can unscrew. Comes completely off. That's how you put your bar in. You could replace your chain, take it off to be serviced or sharpened, whatever you want to do. And then on the back here, you'll see these threads. It just goes back in. And this outer ring, once you're on here, is your chain tensioner. So we want to make sure we don't cross thread it, get it on there nice and smooth. There we go. This cover goes on here. So we can go tight here with the cover And then we can use this outer ring here to turn as our chain tensioner to make sure that you have the right tension on that blade, nice and tight all the time. So again, really robust cutting tool here, and you got a lot of adjustments on there without the need for tools. Just make sure you have the blades going the correct way. It'll tell you right there on the bar which direction the blades need to be going, so no problem there. If we flip it over, you'll see this is where you add your bar and chain oil. So you just take off your cap here, add your chain oil there. You have a reservoir. I don't know if you can see it because it's pretty full there. You can see like how high your reservoir of oil is there. And then you'll see these kind of notches along the bottom of the chainsaw here. And this is what you want to get up against your branch, because this will kind of suck a branch to itself. That's why it really works, even though you're way down below and you don't have much leverage. It pulls it into this section here. So you want to lay your branches right here along this and along the top and chop down like that. So it's done a really good job. I've been out here trimming for hours because we have so many trees we could trim for hours, and it's really been an asset to have around my property. So let's go ahead and get out there, show you how it works, and judge for yourself if it's something that's gonna work for you. All right, so we've got this young oak tree here that is constantly in my face as I'm trying to bush hog these areas out. It's got all these low-hanging branches. So we're gonna just trim it up a little bit more, maybe go 2 or 3 feet higher, and use the pole saw rather than getting on a ladder and trying to do this with the chainsaw. Let's go around here, see how we do, and see how this Litheli pole saw works. Here comes a big one on this side. All right, well, this is just a short demo of what we've been doing the last few weeks with the Litheli pole saw here. You can see it made short work of all these branches, most of them 2 to 3 inches in diameter. We just kind of lifted the weight off this tree, brought it up about 10 feet so we can get our implements and tractors underneath, kind of shaved off some of the outer branches so they weren't so heavy and saggy. And I gotta say, you can do precision work or power work with this, because compared to other electric pole saws, this one is beefy. It's a lot more heavy duty with this thick 8-inch bar versus a 6-inch bar. The chain oil and tightening system work really well. I love the U20 battery system. I've been out here for a long time on one battery, haven't had to recharge, and when I do, it's USB-C, which is why I love these Litheli U20 batteries. So if you're in the market for a pole saw, this is probably my #1 electric choice for 2025. It's the Litheli 8-inch pole saw with the U20 20-volt battery system. Check it out for yourself. I really think you're gonna like it.